ಹಲೋ, ಗುಡ್ ಮಾರ್ನಿಂಗ್. ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ? ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ರೇನ್ರಪ್ಪ? ಏನು ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಸಿಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ? ಈವನ್ ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಬರೋದಕ್ಕೂ ಐಟಮ್ ಆಗ್ತಿರಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ ನೀವು. ಆಫ್ಲೈನ್ ಆದರೆ ಏನೋ ಅನ್ಬೋದು, ಟ್ರಾಫಿಕ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಲ್ಲಿ. ಏನೋ ಅಟೆಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಇದರ ಲೈಕ್ ಲೇಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ವಿಲ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ವಿ ಸ್ಟಡಿಡ್ ಇನ್ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್? ರಿವಿಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ? ಏನು ಓದಿದ್ದು ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಲ್ಲಿ? ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಹೇಳಿ, ಏನು ಗ್ಯಾಪ್ನ ಇದೆ? ಏನಾದ್ರು ಗ್ಯಾಪ್ನ ಇದೆ ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ಗೆ? ಚೈತ್ರ, ಮಿಥುನ್, ಪ್ರಣತಿ, ಸ್ವಾತಿ, ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ we discussed in last class? ಏನಿಗೆ ಅಪ್ನ ಇಲ್ಲ? ಮೀಡಿಯಾ ಅಂಡ್ ಡೆಮೋಕ್ರಸಿ, ದಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಇಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮತ್ತೆ ರಿವಿಷನ್ ಮಾಡೋದ್ನ. ಓಕೆ ಓಕೆ ಓಕೆ, ದೆನ್ ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಸ್ಟಿಲ್ ತುಂಬಾ ಕಾಂಪ್ಲೆಕ್ಸ್ ರಿಲೇಶನ್ಶಿಪ್. ಅದು ಅಗೇನ್ ವಿಲ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್, ಮತ್ತೆ ಅಗೇನ್ ವಿಲ್ ಗಿವ್ ಸಮ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್. ಅದನ್ನ ಬಿಟ್ಟು AMR ಬಗ್ಗೆ. ಓಕೆ, ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ AMR? ಓಕೆ ಓಕೆ ಓಕೆ, ಅದ್ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಮತ್ತೆ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದು AMR ಬಿಟ್ಟು. ಮತ್ತೇನಪ್ಪ ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್?
ನ್ಯಾನೋ ಯೂರಿಯಾ, ನ್ಯಾನೋ DAP.
ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರ ನ್ಯಾನೋ ಯೂರಿಯಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ? ಯು ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಏರಿಯಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ವೇಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಯೂರಿಯಾ ವೇಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಸಾಲ್ಫೇಟ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್. ಓಕೆ, ಹೂ ಇಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾನುಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಚರಿಂಗ್ ಇಟ್? ಓಕೆ, ಅದ್ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಮತ್ತೇನಿದೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ? ಓಕೆ ಓಕೆ, ಗುಡ್. ದೆನ್ ಡಿಡ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಅದೇ ಥಿಂಗ್ ಎಲ್ಸ್? ಬೇರೆ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರ ಬೇರೆ ಏನಾದ್ರು? ಒಟ್ಟು ಬಟ್ ನ್ಯಾನೋ DAP ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಡೈಅಮೋನಿಯಂ ಫಾಸ್ಫೇಟ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸಿ ಅಲಾಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಆನ್ ದೀಸ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ, ನೀಮ್ ಕೋಟೆಡ್ ಯೂರಿಯಾ, ನೀಮ್ ಕೋಟೆಡ್ ಯೂರಿಯಾ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಇರೋದು ಇದನ್ನು. ಅಟ್ ದ ಸೇಮ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಸಲ್ಫರ್ ಕೋಟೆಡ್ ಯೂರಿಯಾ, ಸಲ್ಫರ್ ಕೋಟೆಡ್. ದೆನ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಆನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಒನ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ, ಯೂರಿಯಾ ಸಬ್ಸಿಡಿ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರಾ? ಎಷ್ಟು ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ ಸಬ್ಸಿಡಿ? ಯೂರಿಯಾ ಸಬ್ಸಿಡಿ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ದೆನ್ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ರೇಷಿಯೋ ಆಫ್ NPK, ನೈಟ್ರೋಜನ್, ಪೊಟ್ಯಾಷಿಯಂ, ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಫಾಸ್ಫರಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಪೊಟ್ಯಾಷಿಯಂ? ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ರೇಷಿಯೋ? ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ ರೇಷಿಯೋ, ಎಷ್ಟಿರ್ಬೇಕಂತ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಅಟ್ ದ ಸೇಮ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಎಷ್ಟೇ ರೇಷಿಯೋ ನಮ್ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ, ಹೌ ಮಚ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಅಪ್ಲೈಯಿಂಗ್. ಫಾರ್ಮರ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಅವೇರ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಆಲ್. ಸೊ ವರ್ಕ್ ಆನ್ ದೀಸ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. NPK ರೇಷಿಯೋ ಎಷ್ಟಿರ್ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ? ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ಯೂರಿಯಾ ಸಬ್ಸಿಡಿ? ಎಷ್ಟು ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ ಸಬ್ಸಿಡಿ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್? ಅಟ್ ದ ಸೇಮ್ ಟೈಮ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಆನ್ ದಿಸ್ ನೀಮ್ ಕೋಟೆಡ್ ಯೂರಿಯಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು, ವೈ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ಇಟ್, ಅಂಡ್ ಸಲ್ಫರ್ ಯೂರಿಯಾ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ಆಯ್ತಾ? ವಾಟ್ ಎಲ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇನಾ? ಮತ್ತೆ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಎಮಿಷನ್ಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡೋದು, ಕ್ಯೋಟೋ ಪ್ರೋಟೋಕಾಲ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ, ಅದು ಅಷ್ಟೇನಾ? ಓಕೆ ಓಕೆ, ಡಿಡ್ ಯು ವರ್ಕ್ ಆನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕೋಆಪರೇಟಿವ್ಸ್? ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರ ಕೋಆಪರೇಟಿವ್ಸ್? ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಅಪ್ಪ. ಸಾಹಸ ಸಮೃದ್ಧಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಡಿಕ್ಲರೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ 2025 as International Year for Cooperatives. ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರ? ವಾಟ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ 2026? ಏನ್ ಡಿಕ್ಲೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ? ವಾಟ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ 27? ಎನಿವನ್? ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಸೊ ದೇ ಮೇ ಆಸ್ಕ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕೂಡ ಕೇಳ್ಬೋದು ಮ್ಯಾಥ್ ದ ಫಾಲೋಯಿಂಗ್. ದೇ ಮೇ ಆಸ್ಕ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದಿ ಮ್ಯಾಥ್ ದ ಫಾಲೋಯಿಂಗ್. ಮ್ಯಾಥ್ ದ ಫಾಲೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ದೆನ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರ ಪ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ? ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಅಗ್ರಿಕಲ್ಚರಲ್ ಕೋಆಪರೇಟಿವ್ ಸೊಸೈಟಿ, ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್ ಸೊಸೈಟೀಸ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ. ಎನಿವನ್ ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರನಪ್ಪ ಪ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ? ಎಕಾನಮಿ ಆಗಿರೋರು ಎನಿವನ್? ಎಕ್ಸಿಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಕುಮಾರ್, ಚೈತ್ರ, ಮಿಥುನ್, ಪ್ರಣತಿ, ವರ್ಷಿಣಿ, ಎನಿವನ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಆನ್ ಪ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್? ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರ? Okay.
No,
What
sir.
is the meaning of MSP andre? Minimum support price. Okay. For how many crops they give? ಎಷ್ಟು ಕಪ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರಪ್ಪ MSP ನ? Anyone? For how many crops they give MSP? ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಕೇಳಿದಾರಪ್ಪ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಿರೋದು. ಫಾರ್ ಶುಗರ್ ವಾಟ್ ದೇ ಗಿವ್ MSP ನ? ಎನಿವನ್ ಕೇಳಿಸಿದ ಯಾರು ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ಗೆ? ಎನಿವನ್ ಆಡಿಬಲ್?
ಶುಗರ್ ಕೇನ್ FRP ಸರ್.
FRP ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ವೈ FRP? MSP ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್, ಎರಡು ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಆರ್ ದೇ ಬೋತ್ ಸೇಮ್ ಆರ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಬೋತ್ ಆರ್ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್? MSP and FRP. See, I just asked because there is something called as sugar mill ಅಂತ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಶುಗರ್ ಮಿಲ್ಸ್ FRP ಯಾರು ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ? Is it same like MSP ತರ ಸೇಮ್ ಇದೆಯಾ ಅದನ್ನು? Are they both different? Why we have FRP for sugar cane ge? See, work on these things, very important. Again, if you guys work on it, then only I discuss. Otherwise, I don't discuss. Work discuss ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ. Again, you have to
22 crops.
ಹೇಳಿ?
22 crops, sir.
22 crops ಕೊಡ್ತಾರ. Okay. What about FRP? Coming. FRP ಅಂತ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. Who pays FRP? FRP ಯಾರು ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ? Who fixes FRP? FRP ಯಾರು ಪೇ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ? ಯಾರು ಪೇ ಮಾಡೋದು? See, very important, work ಮಾಡಿ. And what are the crops? For what crops they give MSP? Okay, ಅದು ಕೂಡ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. Then is it for ರಾಬಿ ಕ್ರಾಪ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರ? ಖಾರಿಫ್ ಕ್ರಾಪ್ಸ್ ಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ? ಅಥವಾ ಮಿಲ್ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಇದೆಯಾ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ? Then what about the commercial crops ಗೆ ಯಾವ್ದು ಇದೆಯಾ MSP ಲಿ? Who gives MSP? Decision ಯಾರು ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ? Who recommends it? What are the criteria they consider for MSP ಗೆ? Work on those things also. Okay. Who fixes MSP? Who fixes? Anyone? Okay, work ಮಾಡಿ. Then if I say ಅಲ್ಲ, ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಹಂಗೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅದು, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ವರ್ಕೇ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ. Okay.
Government of India.
Government of India. ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ಬಾಡಿಯಪ್ಪ? Government of India is true, but which one among which?
I think Commission for
that fixes ಅದು ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತಾ? CSCP
yes, sir. Yes, I think
ಅದು ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೇನಪ್ಪ MSP ನ? It recommends. Okay, it recommends MSP. One more commission, okay, one more body which fixes the MSP. ಅದು ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ under PM ಬರುತ್ತೆ. Okay. See, these are simple questions ಅಪ್ಪ, ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಎಕಾನಮಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. They are very important questions. MSP, minimum support price, and which method they use. ಬರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, FL ಅಂತ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, F2 ಅಂತ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, F2 plus AL. ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಡಪ್ಪ, ಆಯ್ತು. Okay. To this article regarding the infrastructure of urban areas. Okay. India's urban infrastructure, financing, needs, and reality. So why do you have to focus on urban areas more? What are the importance of urban areas for us? Urban areas like the importance. One is more GDP contribution. That means more economic activities happens in urban areas or cities. Other than that, Matanike. Okay, more of employment opportunities. Can I say more population live here? Population density is more in urban areas. Correct, Allah? Mathabiti?
and services, sir. Yes. Like services like water, electricity.
Okay. What are the importance of urban areas? What are the importance of urban areas first?
Economic growth.
Economic growth, I don't find it. They promote more to the GDP, more promote to like more contribution to GDP. Abiti, Mate? More population. Heli?
In like infrastructure improvement in improved in infrastructure, sir.
Okay. Then what else? Correct, Allah. Most of the government bodies stays in urban areas. Mate? Correct, Allah. Then they bring in investment. Correct. They bring in investment, especially Bengaluru. Okay. Majority of the MNC companies, they have their headquarters in Bangalore. Okay, Mate? Adbiti? More people migrate to urban areas because for the employment opportunity, other things. So there are a lot of things because so these urban areas, they are very, very important for, for the country's growth or for country's development. Okay. So, but there are some lacunas in our urban infrastructure. This is what we want to discuss about this article. Okay, what are those lacunas? And one more important point is, obviously, financing is important. For building any infrastructure, we need finance. So that one we are discussing here. What happening with the urban infrastructure financing? ಏನು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇದೆ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಫಂಡ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಯಾವ ತರ ಏನು ಲ್ಯಾಕಿನಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ, ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ಸ್? ಓಕೆ, ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಟು ಇಂಪ್ರೂವ್ ಅರ್ಬನ್ ಇನ್ಫ್ರಾಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್. ಓಕೆ, ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಇದೆ ಬಗ್ಗೆ. ಸೊ ಹೇಳಿದ್ನಲ್ಲ, ಅಗೇನ್ ಅರ್ಬನೈಸೇಷನ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಮ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ವಿಚ್ ಪೇಪರ್? ಯಾವ ಪೇಪರ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ? GS1 ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಮೇಕ್ ನೋಟ್ ಆನ್ ಅರ್ಬನೈಸೇಷನ್, ತುಂಬಾ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಅಂಡ್ ಮೇಕ್ ಅಟ್ ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ 2 pages of notes. 2 pages of notes on urbanization. Okay, static portion ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. At the same time, whatever discuss ಮಾಡಿದೀವಲ್ಲ, those things also you have to write in that note. Okay, this is what they are saying. As per, population may increase to 800 million in coming years. One more point they are saying is, according to World Bank, India will require 70 lakh crore by 2036 for urban infrastructure financing. Okay, but this amount is a very huge amount, 70 lakh crore we need by 2036. So we'll see like what are the sources for municipal finances ಅಂತ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ? Urban areas are controlled by municipal bodies. Okay, we have to see what are the financial status of the municipal finances. Like how do you, like what are the source of municipal finance? Municipal finances, what are the sources? Tax. What tax? Property tax. ಮತ್ತೆ one of the major source, property tax. ಮತ್ತೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ urban local bodies. What are the sources of finance? Fines. Okay, good. ಮತ್ತೆ okay, one is central government grants. Correct? They give grants. It could be state government grants. ಮತ್ತೆ ಬೇರೆ ಏನು ಬರುತ್ತೆ? Anything? Can they raise funds giving bonds? ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದಾ? Urban local bodies, can they raise funds using bonds? Can they issue bonds? No. ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದಾ? Anyone online? ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದಾ? So have you heard this one? Money bonds. So in some, if they are allowed, they can also issue the bonds to raise some finances, to raise funds. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ? But this market ಇದೆಲ್ಲ, municipal bond market, it is not that much developed in India. Okay, but we have to develop it. ಅದು ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅದು, but this is extra point I am saying to say. So municipal bond ಇದೆಲ್ಲ, bond market, it is not what well developed for these urban local bodies. We have to develop this. Okay, to fund the infrastructure projects of the urban local bodies. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ? One solution you can drive. Okay, they can raise funds using the issuing of a money bonds or municipal bond market. We have to develop in India. Okay, that's the point number 1. What's the solution? Okay, this is what I say. See, municipal finances has stayed only 1/3 of GDPS. Municipal finances 1/3 of GDPS. So again, if I have to say few points, see there are a lot of data. ತುಂಬಾ ಇದೆ data. It's not that much important. ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಯಾವ್ದು ಬೇಕಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ urban local bodies, this one. Property tax collection, it is very poor, Allah. Okay, it is comparatively very poor collection of property taxes. Okay, in urban areas. One more point I have to rate is this one. 15th Finance Commission report says that only 23% of the total municipal revenue remains unspent. Spend ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ಎಷ್ಟು percentage of amount. So there is a lack of efficiency. Efficiency ತುಂಬಾ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಇದೆ. That is what they are saying. Okay, use this data. ತುಂಬಾ important data ಬರಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ for urban local bodies. Then there are some solutions which they have given. So work on this Amrut scheme, work ಮಾಡಿ. Amrut. Atal Mission for Rejuvenation and Urban Transformation. What is the meaning of Amrut? Along with work on this one also, Smart Cities Mission. See, if you work on that, then we can discuss about those things. Problem there. What are the issues with it? What are the concerns? Again, solutions. We can discuss about those things. If you don't work on it, how can you discuss everything? So please work on those things. Okay. What is the meaning of PPP under public private partnership? Do you know what the models of PPP? Okay. What are the investment models of PPP? Investment models. ಹೇಳಿದಿರಾ ಎಕಾನಮಿ ಆಗಿದವರು ಎನಿಬಡಿ ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಕೇಳಿದಿರಪ್ಪ BOT model, EAM.
Yes, sir.
What is it? Anyone? Build, operate, transfer.
ಅಂದ್ರೆ
ಹೇಳಿ.
ಕೆಲವೊಂದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರೈವೇಟ್ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅವರು ಬಿಲ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಪ್ರೈವೇಟ್ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಲೀಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ ಆ ತರ.
Okay, ಆ ತರ ತುಂಬಾ models ಇದೆ. So work on that one also. Okay, what are the models? Investment models under PPP. Okay, ಅದು ಕೂಡ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. Again we'll discuss. ಮತ್ತೆ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಲ್ಲ ನೀವು ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ again I'll discuss. Okay, there is EM ಅಂತ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, there is HAM model ಅಂತ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಎಷ್ಟು model ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. See, there are some solutions that are given here. One thing is we have to inculcate PPP model ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. PPP model. That means we have to include PPP public also for urban infrastructure ಅಂತ. That is the point number 1. So what is the issue ಅಂದ್ರೆ? So in urban areas we lack infrastructure, mainly public transport agli ಅಥವಾ public buildings agli ಅಥವಾ roads or other things we lack. So why we are having? Because municipal finance only is the main source of infrastructure building. Correct alla? So but municipal finances are suffering because of low property tax collection, at the same time low grants from the central government or state government. So they are struggling. Okay, so one of the solutions for this thing is, one is we have to include PPP. So we have to inculcate the public private partnership to build the infrastructure in the urban areas. That's the point number 1. The second point is, I told Allah, we have to strengthen urban local bodies to issue bonds. Okay, that's the point number 2. The article only. So there is an extra point we can write. So urban local bodies, okay, we can develop the bond market for urban local bodies where they can raise the funds. So that is the point number 2. The second point and third point is, again we have to work on this one. Okay, digital public infrastructure. What is the meaning of it? Digital public infrastructure. ಕೇಳಿದಿರಾ? How did practice ability? Then digital example. Super important is digital public infrastructure. ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ? So it is about giving services digitally. It could be digital India mission. ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ? ಸ್ವಾತಿ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಿಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ. ಸ್ವಾತಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದಾರಾ ಏನೋ? Okay.
Oh, sir,
ಹೇಳಪ್ಪ.
I think it's services like business and governments.
Include out there. Okay, from government to business or government to people. One of the example would be COVID platform. ಯಾಪ್ನ ಇದೇನಪ್ಪ ಕೋವಿಡ್ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ? ಇದು ಪ್ಲಾಟ್ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಕೋವಿಡ್ ಪ್ಲಾಟ್ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಯಾಪ್ನ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಕೋವಿಡ್ ಆಯ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಯಾಪ್ನ ಇದೆಯಾ? ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಕೋವಿಡ್ ಪ್ಲಾಟ್ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಇದು? ಒಂದು ಸರ್ಟಿಫಿಕೇಟ್, ಮತ್ತೆ ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ವ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿನೇಷನ್ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಮಾಡೋದೈತಲ್ಲ. One of the example for this one, digital public infrastructure. So giving services, giving public services, government services to the public or business, other things. Okay, that's a very important topic. Again we'll come back to this. But this is model. Okay, economy ಬರುತ್ತಿದ್ದು ತುಂಬಾ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಇದು. Okay. Okay. One more is jam trinity. What is jam trinity? Jam trinity. ಹೇಳಿದಿರಾ jam trinity ಅಂತ? Anyone?
Sir, Jandan Aadhaar mobile.
Correct. So Jandan accounts, Aadhaar card and mobile. Using these alva, we give many services. Okay, it could be regarding DBT transfers or direct benefit transfers. Okay, or giving subsidies. Okay, these are also part of digital public infrastructure. Okay, gap net again we'll come back to it. No worries. So these are the things in urban infrastructure. These are the main points. Okay, if I have to revise everything and again urban local bodies. Okay, urban areas are very important for our country's growth because more population density, at the same time, more contribution towards the GDP comes from the urban areas. Okay, so this is a major point for the urban areas. Okay, there are a lot of points you have to remember. What is the lacuna means? We have the infrastructure lacuna. It's a lacuna in urban areas. So we have to invest in infrastructure in urban areas. But we know that only the municipal bodies, they invest majorly in infrastructure. So, but the finances are very limited. Example, property tax, very limited. Grants also very limited. So they are financially, they are not stable. So one thing we have to do is we have to make them financially resilient by giving more grant, okay, and making them so they can, what levy taxes or maybe bonds. We have to make them. We can make them to issue bonds to raise their finances to build infrastructure. This is what the article about. So see this lengthy article, it could be summarized in 2 to 3 points maximum or maximum 4 to 5 points. So don't write entire article in your notes. Okay, you have to concise it. Okay, any doubts? No doubts there. Again, 26th today we came. Okay, what is 26th November? Which day? Constitution Day. Today is next day, but for us it's today. Okay, Constitution Day. Why? What is the significance of it? Adopted on this day. Okay, what is the year?
1946.
1946. Come on, guy. Come on. In 30 days the exam goes there. Why 600? Fine, ಮಂಗು ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ನಾವು ಹಂಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ 1914 ಅಂತಾನೆ ಡಿಸೆಂಬರ್ ಅಂತ ನವೆಂಬರ್ 26 1949 ಯಾವ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಬಂದಿದ್ದು ಫೋರ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಯಾವ ಬಂದಿದ್ದು ಫೋರ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಜಾನ್ವರಿ ಓಕೆ ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಡೇ okay what is the importance of constitution what is constitution what is the meaning of constitution what is the meaning of constitution and then okay set of rules and regulations okay why do you think our constitution is still working see one of the important topic about one of the important base discussion madadiga topic alli very important okay try to focus here then you can write later okay why do you think that the constitution of India is still working even after 75 years after adoption why do you think it's still working example we consider India for example France see example example they are very important example France they changed their constitution more than 5 times maybe 4 times they changed their constitution 5 times or 4 times even Nepal also Nepal kuda once they adopt constitution they changed it 4 to 5 times they changed the constitution okay there are many countries which are not able to form the constitution and there are many more countries which formed the constitution adopted it but later it changed it but still India but even though we have more diversity more plurality more diversity more what do you say regionalism religious things everything is there are more cracks correct alva in Indian society we have more cracks but still our constitution is still working why do you think so how why what are reasons for it
The checks and balances ಇದೆ ಸರ್
okay we have checks and balances okay arbitrary power ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅದು ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಸುಪ್ರೀಂ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಇದೆ ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ best of the best okay for the best ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ don't you think there are lacking in
Flexible ಇದೆ sir, so amendments ಮಾಡಿ.
Okay, very good. One is flexibility, correct alla. The only thing that is permanent in society is change. We have to keep on changing. We have to adapt to the new changes. That is where the constitution comes into picture. We can adopt alva. We can amend the constitution. If there are new needs which comes into picture in the later times, we can adopt it. Okay, that is what.
We have a fair and democratic system of governance.
Okay, good. Okay. Anything else?
So mainly it provides for us equality.
Okay, good. Equality. Don't you think it's a majority only? Do you ever think constitution serves only majority people? Do you ever think that a constitution serves only majority people? Majority. Anyone?
ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮೈನಾರಿಟೀಸ್ಗೂ ಈಗ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ರಾಜ್ಯಸಭಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಸಿಗೂ ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟೇಷನ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ.
Good.
ಆತರ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಇನ್ಶೂರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
Okay.
ಬಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈಗ ಏನು ವಾಟ್ ಬೆಸ್ಟ್ ಪಾಸಿಬಲ್ ಅಷ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಸರ್. ಇದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಬೇರೆ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕಾಗ್ತಿತ್ತು ಅಂತ.
Okay, good. Minorities protection ಇದೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಬಿಟ್ಟು. See, one of the interviews, CJ, what he says, the constitution still functions because it works for those people who doesn't believe in it also. Constitution works for those people who doesn't believe in constitution in India. That is one of the reasons it is still functioning. Even Gandhiji also then ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. Gandhiji, see, whenever we make any constitution, it should not only serve the majority. Even the minority should have some reasons to stay within the constitution. So that is given in constitution. Even minority should have the reasons. Minority should have the reasons to stay or follow the constitution. Follow the constitution. That is what we have given in constitution. Similarly, whatever points you told, again it is changing. Amendments we can do. We can modify our constitution as per our needs. But there are restrictions there. There are some restrictions. At the same time, no organ can overpower itself. Okay. There is separation of powers. There is other bodies which can keep and check on other powers. So there are a lot of things which makes our constitution still working for all the people. Okay. All points are correct. But one point you have to there is one thing you have to link consider. There is one quote called as self that goes on changing. Self that goes on changing, goes on living. ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ? ಅದರ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ? The self that goes on changing is a self that goes on living. Change ಆದ್ರೆ? Okay, good. Okay. Anything else? ಬೇರೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ? Opinion ಇದೆಯಾ ಬೇರೆ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ? Self that goes on changing is a self that goes on living. UPSC essay topic ಇದೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ನಾನು. UPSC essay topic. You can link it to constitution also. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಿರೋದು. Anyone? ಏನಾದ್ರು ಲಿಂಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ಗೆ? ಅಮೆಂಡ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ಸೊ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್. ಇಫ್ ಐ ಟೇಕ್ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಆಸ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ಗೋಸ್ ಆನ್ ಚೇಂಜಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಅಡಾಪ್ಟ್, ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಅಮೆಂಡ್ ಇಟ್. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ವೈ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್, ಇಟ್ ಗೋಸ್ ಆನ್ ಲಿವಿಂಗ್. ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಸ್ಟಿಲ್ ಲಿವಿಂಗ್ ಡಾಕ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್. ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಇದನ್ನ. ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಇಸ್ ಲಿವಿಂಗ್ ಡಾಕ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ಗ್ಯಾಪ್ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಎನಿವನ್ ಹೂ ಸ್ಟಡಿಡ್ ಪಾಲಿಟಿ? ವಿ ಸೇ Indian constitution is a living document. That means that constitution is still living. Why? Because it is changing. The self is changing. We are adopting new changes as and when the new changes become. If we want new changes, we amend the constitution. If we make it living, it's a living thing. So we can link it to here also. The self that goes on changing. The constitution is a self which goes on changing, adapting to the amendments, and it goes on living. It's a living document. Okay, these are the points you can link to Constitution of India. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ? ಸೊ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಹಾವ್ ಟು, okay, again there are some countries which change their constitution which cannot work. Okay, at the same time in Africa also, in Africa also they wanted to frame the constitution for all the countries together, but it did not happen. Adu agಲಿಲ್ಲ. At the same time in Caribbean islands also they tried to form the constitution for many countries. It did not happen. So but our country, it is still functioning even though we have many problems within our country. Still it's functioning properly. One of the best thing about the Constitution of India. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ? ಸೊ ಇವ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್. ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ದಿಸ್ ಆರ್ ವೆರಿ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಎಸ್ ಆಮೇಲೆ ತೋರಿಸ್ಬಿಡಿ. ಎಸ್ ತುಂಬಾ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಡೆಮೋಕ್ರಸಿ ಮೇಲೆ ಅಥವಾ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಮೇಲೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ದಿಸ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್. Again, what is the meaning of secular socialist? You asked Pooja something, the article, this article, editorial article. You asked some doubt, na? This one, na? Okay. Secular, what do you mean of secular andre? Secular.
All religions are treated equal.
Okay. Then any other definitions for secularism? Can government interfere in religious practices? Can government interfere in religion? ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದಾ? One is
Yes,
yes,
sir.
is no. Anybody know? No. ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದಾ ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು? ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದಾ? ಡಿಸ್ಕಷನ್ ಮಾಡಂಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅದ್ರದ್ದು ಅದ್ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಏನಂತ? ಓಕೆ. ಓಕೆ. Secular. One of the most used word in Indian society. ಅಲ್ಲ? Whenever we get any issues regarding religious thing ಬಂದಾಗ we use secularism because we follow secularism ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. Secularism ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ meaning ಇರುತ್ತೆ. There are two meanings to it. Okay, one is we have the western side meaning. Western side, for example, France. Example only France and France. France. In Indian meaning also. Our land. So in western side ಅಲ್ವಾ? In western countries, especially in USA or France, what they say is the state, this is religion. They cannot interfere in these things. The state cannot interfere in religious stuff. Religions. There is a strict separation between these two things. The state cannot interfere in religious practices or anything like that. So, but in India, there is an overlapping between the state and religion. Why it is overlapping? Like is overlapping? Right there. Why is the overlapping? Correct, alva. So in religious practices, there are some discrimination happens for women, alva. For example, triple talaq was the example. There is a discrimination in women. At the same time, in caste system also we discriminate. In Hinduism also there is a caste system. We discriminate against a caste system. Correct, alva. So there are discrimination in the religion also. So to avoid that, to control that, to prevent that, alva, so the state interferes in religious matters. Here also we have discrimination. Even if you observe, even example majorly the Christianity, majorly there are Christianity people. Okay, even though there is discrimination illu ಇದೆ, but they are not interfering in this. This is separate, this is separate. But in India, alva, there is no strict separation. To my lord, there is a overlapping ಇದೆ. Why? Because in religious practices there are some discrimination. Example, triple talaq or maybe caste systems. There are discrimination. So to avoid those discriminations, to prevent them, so state interferes in religion. Okay, this is the difference between the both secularism concept of the western side and the Indian side or Indian constitution side. And the point here is the state treat everyone religious equally. State treats equally. Okay, every religion as equally. So we treat every religion as equal. Okay, we don't discriminate against any religion. Okay, and one more point you have to remember is I don't know the term name. There is some doctrine is there regarding secularism. I'm not able to recall the doctrine name. Okay. Principal distance. Doctrine of India follows doctrine of principled distance. Principled distance for secularism. See, these are terms, they are very, very important. I don't know whether UAR is somewhere you can use this kind of terms. India follows, I think question is answer somewhere. There's one main question I think he'll discuss. France. There was a question regarding what is the difference between the concept of secularism in the India from the France. It was a main question. UPSC main question. So only I'm discussing in depth. Okay. One more is question ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿದ್ದೀನ very important. ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಬರ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನ. ವಾಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಫ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಲರ್ನ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ Indian constitutional approach? What can France learn from the Indian constitutional approach to the secularism? UPSC ಮೇನ್ಸ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರು, ಯಾವ್ದಾರಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. 2019 ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕೇಳಿರೋದು. 2019 ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕೇಳಿರೋದು. 10 mark 150 words. ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ಸ್. ಸೆಕ್ಯುಲರಿಸಮ್ ಆಗಲಿ, ಸೋಷಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಕೂಡ. ಓಕೆ, ಆಲ್ ದ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನಲ್ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ವೆರಿ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆಯಾ? ಸೊ ಇನ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ವಿ ಫಾಲೋ ದಿಸ್ ಮೆಥಡ್, ಡಾಕ್ಟ್ರಿನ್ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್. ಎನಿವನ್ ಯಾರು ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ? ಇದ್ರ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ಹೇಳಿ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ? ಡಾಕ್ಟ್ರಿನ್ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲ್ಡ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ದೆನ್ ಓಕೆ, ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್. ಮತ್ತೆ ಸಿ, if this is a state or this is a government, this is Hinduism, Islam or Jainism or Buddhism, other religions, or maybe atheist also. I am rating the atheists who do not believe in religion. So we treat every religion equally. That means it is equally distant. It is equally distant from all the religion. Okay, na? It is not going to take any religion. There is no state religion in India. Correct alva? There is no state religion. We follow the equidistance from all the religions. But it is on principled basis. There are some principles, especially equality, justice, fairness. When these principles are followed in these religions, we don't interfere. But when there is a violation of this kind of equality, fairness, justice, or when there is a discrimination, then we interfere. When state interferes, that is the meaning of doctrine of principled justice or distance. Artha agidya? The state maintains its distance from all the religions on a principled basis. Principles of equality, fraternity, other those things bartalla, discrimination, non-discrimination irbekalla, ella irbek. But when there is something discrimination aaytu ankolli, when there is something equality illa ankolli regionally, then we interfere. Then the state interferes in that region practices. That is the meaning of doctrine of principled distance. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆಯಾ? ಎನಿ ಡೌಟ್ಸ್? ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಯಾವ ತರ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿರೋ ನೀವಂತ. ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ವೆರಿ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಅಪ್ಪ. ಫಾರ್ ಯುವರ್ ಎಸ್ಸೇಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ವೆರಿ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ರೈಟ್ ವೆರಿ ವೆರಿ ಯು ವಾಂಟ್. ಎಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ದಿಸ್ ಕೈಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಡಾಕ್ಟ್ರಿನ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ತುಂಬಾ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಡಾಕ್ಟ್ರಿನ್ ಆಫ್ ಬೇಸಿಸ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಅಥವಾ ಡಾಕ್ಟ್ರಿನ್ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಬುಕ್ಕಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಗಲ್ಲ ತುಂಬಾ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಒಂದ್ ಕಡೆ ಬರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿರಿ. ಐ ಡೋಂಟ್ ನೋ ವೆದರ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ರೈಟಿಂಗ್ ಇಟ್ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್. ಎನಿ ಡೌಟ್ಸ್? ಇದೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ?
ಏನಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್.
Very good. So this is what they are saying. ಏನ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, again they are questioning it. Part alva secular and these words alva, they were they part of original constitution? Original itta first starting out of the constitution?
ಇರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್.
ಇಲ್ಲ. What is the amendment ಅದು?
Amendments 1976.
What are the three words?
ಸೋಷಿಯಲಿಸ್ಟ್, ಸೆಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಇಂಟಿಗ್ರಿಟಿ.
Those what added after the amendment ಆಡೋದು. So why amendment ಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ವಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. Why we needed that one? ಆ ವರ್ಡ್ ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಸುಪ್ರೀಂ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ಗೆ. ಬಟ್ ಸುಪ್ರೀಂ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ said yes, secular and socialist principles ಅಲ್ಲ, they are part of constitution ಇದ್ದು, ಬಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಡ್ ಟು ಚೇಂಜ್ ಇಟ್ ನಾವು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದಾರೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಇದು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಅಂತ ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ವಾಟ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ ಇಸ್ ದೀಸ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್. ಸೆಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು, ಸೋಷಿಯಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಸೋಷಿಯಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಸೋಷಿಯಲಿಸಂ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಅಡ್ವಾಂಟೇಜಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಟ್? ಸೋಷಿಯಲಿಸಮ್ ಈಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ಅಚೀವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಅದು ಬಿಟ್ಟು ವೆಲ್ಫೇರ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಪೀಪಲ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್, can we shift to capitalism? What are advantages of capitalism?
Competition.
Merit based. Okay, very good. What is merit based? Correct alva? We can give merit based things. ಮತ್ತೆ ಅದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು
ಎಕನಾಮಿಕ್ ಗ್ರೋತ್
ಗುಡ್ ಎಫಿಷಿಯನ್ಸಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಮೋರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಮೋರ್ ಎಫಿಷಿಯಂಟ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಕೆನ್ ವಿ ಶಿಫ್ಟ್ ಟು ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲಿಸಮ್? ಹೇಳಿ. ಲೇಜಿ ಆಗ್ತಾರ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲಿಸಮ್? ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್. ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಆಪರ್ಚುನಿಟಿ ಸಿಗುತ್ತಾ?
ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ಸಿಗಲ್ಲ
ಅಲ್ವಾ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲಿಸಮ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೀಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಅದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಎನಿಥಿಂಗ್ ಎಲ್ಸ್? ವೆಲ್ ಕಾನ್ಫಿಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. ಓಕೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ all these things are happening. Correct ಅಲ್ಲ? See, all of correct ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್. There is no wrong in that. See, one thing ಅಲ್ಲ, whenever I say socialism principle, whenever I say about welfare ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, it is not a single concept. There is no single definition for this kind of things. Okay, it's a bundle of principles. That means it can promote welfare of the people, welfare of vulnerables especially. It protects the vulnerables. Okay, again it may increase efficiency also. We never know. Okay, again it promotes justice, it promotes equality, it promotes fraternity. There are a lot of things. Okay, there are a lot of principles within one thing. Okay, we cannot define socialistic principle. Socialism ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ it is not a one principle ಅಲ್ಲ. It's a bundle of principles. Similarly, this one also, welfare and good also. It's a bundle of principles. Okay, which includes whatever it told. So why are you focusing on socialism? Why are you focusing on equality more? Equity, okay, come back. Gap ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು equality versus equity. Difference ಇದೆ, ಎರಡು ಸೇಮ್. Equality and equity. Any difference? What is the difference? Correct ಅಲ್ಲ? Based upon their circumstances, we treat them differently. Okay, equality means there is no special privileges. I am giving 10 rupees to everyone. There is a meaning of equality. Equity means based upon the circumstances, because for poor people need more. Okay, we are giving more to the poor people. There's a meaning of equity. Depending upon the circumstances, we are giving them what they want. There's a meaning of equity. Equality is different. Okay, this is also called as formal equality. Gap na ide heliddu formal equality and substantive equality. Substantive equality. Gap na ide questions ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. Anyone? ಯಾರಿಗೆ ತರಂ ಗ್ಯಾಪ್ ಇದೆಯಪ್ಪ? ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಗ್ಯಾಪ್ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಫಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಈಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ, ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಟಿವ್ ಈಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಲ್ಲ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಸಮ್ ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ 1 ವೀಕ್ ಆಗ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ, 1 ವೀಕ್ 2 ವೀಕ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು. ಗ್ಯಾಪ್ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಎನಿವನ್? ವಿಚ್ ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಟಾಕ್ಸ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕೈಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಈಕ್ವಾಲಿಟೀಸ್? Article 14. What is it? Article 14.
Equality before law and equal protection of law.
ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಎರಡಕ್ಕೂ? ಈಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ಬಿಫೋರ್ ಲಾ, ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಲಾ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ
ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಟ್ರೀಟೆಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಎವ್ರಿಬಡಿ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಟ್ರೀಟೆಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಅಂತ. ಬಟ್ ಇದು ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಸೊ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಟ್ರೀಟೆಡ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಅನ್ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಟ್ರೀಟೆಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಅಂತ.
So that is where alwa in Article 14 ಅಂತ ತಗೋಲ್ಲ. Article 14 it promotes both kind of equality. Equality before law, it promotes formal equality. That means all are equally treated. There is no privileges for anyone. There is a meaning of first part of Article 14. Again, Article 14 ಮತ್ತೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ equal protection of law. Equal protection of law. Equal protection of law. Correct? In that one we talk about this substantive equality. That means equity. Likes to be treated alike. If there are different circumstances, those persons should be treated differently. That is the meaning of equal protection of law, nothing but the substantive equality. Article 14, it promotes both things. It promotes both things. But there is one term, it is called as affirmative action. Affirmative action. Anyone? Anyone heard about this one? Affirmative action. ಕೇಳಿದಿರಾ?
ಇಲ್ಲ,
Affirmative
ಕೇಳಿ-
ಹೇಳಿ.
ಕೇಳಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್.
ಕೇಳಿಲ್ಲ. ಇನ್ ಪಾಲಿಟಿ ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್. ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಕೂಡ ಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಖುಷಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಫೈನ್ ವಿತೌಟ್ ವೇಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಟೈಮ್. ಓಕೆ, ಅಫರ್ಮೇಟಿವ್ ಆಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಐ ಟೋಲ್ಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಹಿಯರ್ ದಿ ಪೂರ್ ನೀಡ್ಸ್ ಮೋರ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, ದೇ ನೀಡ್ ಮೋರ್ ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್. ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? in India that Indian maybe Dalits and Dalits, SC, STs, or women, or old age, or children, they are more vulnerable. So they need more support. So whatever the actions, what are the actions taken by the government to uplift them? Whatever the actions taken by the government to uplift them, they are called as affirmative actions. These are the state actions which are taken to uplift the vulnerables in the society. That is called as affirmative action. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆಯಾ? Formal equality, there is no special privileges to anyone. Then we have substantive equality. We treat equals in equally manner, unequals unequally based upon the circumstances. This is part of Article 14. Article 14 promotes both kind of equality, whether it is formal equality, and second part it promotes substantive equality. And there is one term called as affirmative action. It is the action taken by the government to uplift the vulnerables. Example, any Guhalakshmi Yojana. Okay, very good. What?
Reservation.
Very good. One is reservation, sir. Reservation is one of the major affirmative action taken by the government, okay, to uplift the vulnerables. Artha Kidya, I don't know whether you're getting it, but these are terms, okay, it's fine. But remember this kind of terms, gap terms, Article 14, formal equality, substantive equality, equity. See, you don't discuss about this kind of terms in polity book. Idea. About this one, idea, formal equality anta. Book book. So ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು, so please write these terms. ತುಂಬಾ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡಿ. ವೆರಿ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. Again, this affirmative action ಆಗಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಫಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಈಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ, ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟಾಂಟಿವ್ ಈಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಅಥವಾ ಸೆಕ್ಯುಲರಿಸಮ್ ಗೆ ಡಾಕ್ಟ್ರಿನ್ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್, ಓಕೆ, ದೋಸ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಸೀನ್ ಇನ್ ಬುಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ UPSC ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ಮೇನ್ಸ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ವೆರಿ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಸೊ ಟ್ರೈ ಟು ರೈಟ್ ದಮ್. ಎನಿ ಡೌಟ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್? ಏನೇ ಡೌಟ್ಸ್ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಓವರ್ ವೆಲ್ಮಿಂಗ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆಯಾ? ಮೇನ್ಸ್ ತುಂಬಾ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ. ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಸರ್ ಫಾರ್ ಎಸ್ಸೆ ಮೇನ್ಸ್ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಎನಿ ಡೌಟ್ಸ್?
ಏನಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್.
ಓಕೆ. ಚೈತ್ರ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತೀನಪ್ಪ? ಮಿಥುನ್, ಪ್ರಣತಿ, ಸ್ವಾತಿ, ವರ್ಷಿಣಿ ಇದೀರಾ? ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ? Is it fine? So if you have any doubts, let me know. Okay. This is what the meaning of secular and socialistic principles. Again, preamble. Okay, preamble. Is preamble part of constitution? Is preamble part of constitution?
ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್.
Illa. We have to discuss this one again. Is it part of constitution or not? Preamble part of constitution? No?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Some say no, some say yes. Anyone? Any other options? Can't say either. Don't know.
Sir, it's a part of.
Is it a part of constitution? Yes. It is a part of constitution ಅನ್ಕೋಣ. Okay. Is it justifiable? Justiciable ಇದೆಯಾ?
ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್.
Can courts enforce preamble? No.
ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್.
Can they enforce? ಇಲ್ಲ, ಮಾಡಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ವಾ? You're sure about that one? Then why is it constitution then? It gives a crux of it, Allah. It is a crux of the constitution. But one thing is, it is a part of constitution. Preamble is a part of constitution. Is part of constitution. It is a part of constitution. ಮುಂಚೆ ಡಿಬೇಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ಡಿಬೇಟ್ ಆಗಿತ್ತು. ಇನ್ ಸಮ್ ಕೇಸ್ ದೇ ಸೆಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್. ಆ ಕೇಸ್ ನಾನು ಹೇಳಲ್ಲ, ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನೀವು ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬನ್ನಿ, ದೆನ್ ವಿಲ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಕೇಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಇನ್ ದಟ್ ಕೇಸ್ ದೇ ಸೆಡ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಪ್ರಿಯಾಂಬಲ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ಎನಿವನ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ಕೇಸ್?
ಕೇಶವಾನಂದ ಭಾರತಿ
ಕೇಸ್. ಓಕೆ
ಸರ್, ಬೇರುಬಾರಿ ಕೇಸಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ನಾಟ್ ಅ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ.
ಕೇಶವಾನಂದ ಭಾರತಿ ಕೇಸಲ್ಲಿ
ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ.
ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್.
Okay, is it justiciable?
It's not justice.
Not justiciable. Question ಇದೆ, ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ. UPSC ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಇದೆ, ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಿಲಿಮ್ಸ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಇದೆ, ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ ಬನ್ನಿ. ಪ್ರಿಯಾಂಬಲ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಜಸ್ಟಿಸಬಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಅಗ್ರೀಡ್. ಬಟ್ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಕಮ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಸಿ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಜಸ್ಟಿಸಬಲ್. ಓಕೆನಾ? ನಾಟ್ ಜಸ್ಟಿಸಬಲ್ ವಿತ್ ಅ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ ಮಾರ್ಕ್. Means there are some conditions to it. ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ ಏನಾದ್ರು? ಮ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ? ಸ್ವಾತಿ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ? ಸ್ವಾತಿ?
Yes, it's non-justiciable because it cannot be enforced in a court of law.
That is the meaning of it. But there is a star mark. There is a star mark. Star mark ಇದೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ. ಏನೋ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ಇದೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೂ ಮತ್ತೆ ಕೂಡ. Correct. See, one thing, it is non-justiciable. Agreed. With a star mark. That means independently we cannot enforce preamble. Independently, preamble cannot be enforced in courts by courts. But if I combine preamble with fundamental rights, that can be enforced. Or if I combine with DPSP, if I combine DPSP, or if I combine fundamental duties, then it is enforceable. It is enforceable. Independently, it is not enforceable. But combined with other parts, combined with other parts, it is enforceable. Check ಮಾಡಿ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕೂಡ ಇದೆ UPSC ಕ್ವಶನ್. Let me see it. Whenever we need a net hours work again net neutrality ಇಲ್ಲ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ. ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. The preamble of the Constitution of India is option A part of Constitution but has no legal effect. Part of Constitution but has no legal effect. Option B, not part of Constitution, has no legal effect either. Option 3, part of Constitution but has the same legal effect as any other part of Constitution and has the same legal effect as any other part. Option 4, a part of Constitution that has no legal effect. Part of Constitution, write it simple. Part of Constitution but has no legal effect independently of other parts. What is the option? What is the answer? D. Any other options? Any other option area? This
Sir,
was
option
question.
B.
Option B, na?
Yes, sir.
Option
Yes, sir.
B. Very good. Not part of Constitution and has no legal effect either. Very good. What?
Option D.
A part of Constitution but has no legal effect independently of other parts.
Sir, option D, sir.
Option D. Any other options? Option B. Why, Mithun? Option B. That is what I discussed right now only. Mithun, ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಪ್ಪ ನೀನು actuallyಂದ? That is what I say. ಅದೇ ತರ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಆಗ್ಲಿಂದ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ it is part of Constitution ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಬರ್ದಿಂತಾನೆ. It is a part of Constitution ಅಂತ. That is the meaning of it, okay, na? It is not justiciable, agreed. Independently, Allah. But if I combine with other parts, it is a justiciable. That is the meaning of it, Allah. Correct, Allah. Fourth statement, Allah. It is a part of Constitution, but has no legal effect independently. Independently, I can't enforce it. See, very, very important. This is a UPSC question. Okay, independently, I cannot enforce the preamble. But combine other part, I can enforce it. That is the meaning of it. So work on preamble. What are the terms which are there in preamble? That's very important. Okay, work ಮಾಡಿದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ in Constitution Day yesterday. ಈ kata again is coming. So work ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಈ kata meaning ಏನಂತ. Like maybe 10 times you have seen it. 5 times in monthly operators. See, ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಆಡಿಯೋ ತುಂಬಾ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಇದೆ. ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ತುಂಬಾ ಆಡಿಯೋ ತುಂಬಾ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಇದೆ. there are lot of terms also in that in this one. I'll show question ತೋರಿಸ್ತೀನಿ. Okay, work on this one. Bio toilets. Question ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ರಿಪೀಟ್ question ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಿರೋದು. Bio toilet meaning ಏನು? Bio toilets. What is it? And who developed this? And what are the gases which comes out of bio toilets? ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಜ್ಞಾಪನ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ question ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಿರೋದು ಅಷ್ಟೇ. UPSC they ask question. Bio toilets. Butterfly plug. Rangan Pittu. Bird sanctuary. Fully coming up. in the future. Okay. See, these two they are very important. The article is ತುಂಬಾ important ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ. There are a lot of keywords in this one. More of concepts. ತುಂಬಾ concepts ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ. Again, we'll discuss ಮಾಡೋಣ ನಾಳೆ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ. But you study about this one. ಓದ್ಕೊಂಬನ್ನಿ. Because there are a lot of feminists ಇದಾರಲ್ಲ. Are you a feminist? Anyone who is a feminist? Feminist ಯಾರಿದಾರ? Feminist ಕೂಡ ಯಾರಿದಾರ? Feminist ಇಲ್ಲ ನೀವು? ಹೊಡೆಯುವ ಫೆಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ಹೊಡೆಯುವ ಫೆಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯು ಡೋಂಟ್ ರೀಡ್, ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಬೇಡ, ಯು ಡೋಂಟ್ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಫೈಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಯು ಡೋಂಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಫೈಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಇಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ. ಆಬ್ವಿಯಸ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಗುಡ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಯು ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಫೈಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಸೋಲ್ ಯುವರ್, ಐ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಗೆಟ್ ದ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ಫೆಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್. ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ರಾಡಿಕಲ್ ಫೆಮಿನಿಸಮ್ ಅಪ್ಪ, ಅದು ಬೇರೆ ಇದೆ. ಓಕೆನಾ? ಫೆಮಿನಿಸಮ್ ಇಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ದೇ ಡಿಮ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ರೈಟ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ವುಮೆನ್. ಫೆಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ ಅದೇ ತಾನೆ. ದಿ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಹೂ ಆರ್ ಡಿಮ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ದೇರ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಫೆಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ತಾನೆ. ದೇ ಬಿಲೀವ್ ಇನ್ ಫೆಮಿನಿಸಮ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ವೈ, ಹೌ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ರಾಡಿಕಲ್, ಹೌ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೇನಿಂಗ್, ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ರಾಡಿಕಲ್ ಫೆಮಿನಿಸಮ್. ಅದು ಬೇರೆ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್. ದೇ ಥಿಂಕ್ ದಟ್ ಎವ್ರಿಥಿಂಗ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನಿಂಗ್ ಫಾರ್ ವುಮೆನ್ ಇಸ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೆನ್ ಅಂತ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಅದು ಬೇರೆ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್. ರಾಡಿಕಲ್ ಫೆಮಿನಿಸಮ್ ಅದು ಬೇರೆ. ಟಾಕ್ಸಿಕ್ ಬಂದಾಗ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಬಟ್ ಇನ್ ಜನರಲಿ ಫೆಮಿನಿಸಮ್ ಇಸ್ ಎ ಗುಡ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ತಾನೆ. ದೇ ಡಿಮ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ರೈಟ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ವುಮೆನ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. ವಿ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಡೂಯಿಂಗ್ ಇಟ್ ಸೇಮ್ ಥಿಂಗ್. ಓಕೆ, ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಿರೋದು ವರ್ಕ್ ವಿಡೌಟ್ ಒನ್ ಯೂಸ್. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಅಪ್ ಟು ಯು. ಓಕೆ, ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಸಿ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಸೇಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ವಿ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಸೇ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ವಿ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಸೇ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಫೋರ್ ಫಾದರ್ಸ್, ವಿ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಸೇ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಫೌಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಫಾದರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ, ಫೌಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಫಾದರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ. ಬಟ್ ಬಟ್ ಫೌಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಮದರ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. ಸೊ ವರ್ಕ್ ಆನ್ ದೀಸ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್, ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಫೌಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಫಾದರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ. ದೇರ್ ಆರ್ ಫೌಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಮದರ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಇನ್ ದ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಅಸೆಂಬ್ಲಿ. ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಏನ್ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಇತ್ತು ಅವ್ರದ್ದು, ಹೇಗೆ ಫೌಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಮದರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್. ಓಕೆ, ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದ್ಸಲ ಓದ್ಕೊಂಬನ್ನಿ. ಅಗೇನ್ ವಿಲ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್. ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಟು ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್. ತುಂಬಾ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಇದೆ ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಅವೆರಡು. And there are a lot of things to learn from it also. What is the meaning of nation ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ? Nation ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ nation. What is the meaning of nation? Same identity. Very good. What is the meaning of state ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ? State, political entity. No? ಮತ್ತೆ ಏನಿದೆಯಾ? Again, we have secularism as a secularism in both spirit and letter. You have to read, discuss about this article. Work on this. This one also you have to work. Okay, fine. We discuss tomorrow. So work on these things. Desha ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೇನು? What is the meaning of state ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೇನು? ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆಯಾ ಎರಡು ಸೇಮ್ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆಯಾ? Can I call India as nation ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ ನೇಷನ್ ಅಂತ? ಎಲ್ಲ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ ಬನ್ನಿ. Again, we'll have it discuss ಮಾಡೋಣ. Any doubts?
ಏನಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್.
Okay.